significance of the fast in the month of Ramadan and why we fast in this month. And I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with fasting. Fasting is practiced and it has been practiced by so many different faith groups. I know Christians fast and Jews and Sikh and Hindus. Many faith communities fast. We also, as Muslims, we follow in the footsteps of the prophets and the religious leaders of the past. So we know that Moses fasted for 40 days and Jesus fasted for 40 days, and David, from what we believe, used to fast every other day. So this is an old tradition that we follow. I'm not going to talk about the physical benefits that people gain from fasting in this month, losing weight and just like being on diet, because regarding, I'm going to be honest with you, I know a lot of people, they gain weight in Ramadan. Muslims who fast, because we serve such fantastic international food, so they eat and eat and eat, and they just gain weight in this month. So Ramadan is all about sacrifice and about devotion. So this is one of the things we learn from this month, because if you fast for 17 hours, I know this sounds like a very long time, but the first few days are the most difficult, just like after you get married. So it takes some time, and so it takes some time to get used to it. So once it's in the system, it becomes much easier for you to do. We know that, and we can see when you drive around, you see homeless people, poor people. So now when you fast for 17 hours, now you have a feeling of what these people experience in the streets. They don't eat anytime they want to eat. So you become more sympathetic toward them. Now we encourage, you give them charity, you feel how they feel. So in Ramadan, we fast, we share food with the poor, and we give charity. Also, if someone is not able to fast in the month of Ramadan, someone is very ill or someone is very old, they should give a meal, or they should feed a poor person per day. So, because they know that this person needs the food, so they share with them. Close to the end of the month, every Muslim has to give a charity to the poor as well, close to the end of the month. So it's always about sharing and about being sympathetic with those who are less fortunate. The second thing we learn from this month is patience. It takes a lot of patience to fast in this month. It's not easy. When I first came to Canada, I'm from Egypt, but I'm not a pharaoh, because if you know a little bit about ancient history, Egyptians were very tall. I'm not, so I'm a fake Egyptian. So it takes a lot of patience. I used to envy the Muslims in Argentina because they fast only for 9 hours a day. In Egypt, we used to fast about 12, 13 hours. I came to Canada 17 hours, and I said, who is going to be able to fast for 17 hours? Then I got a call from my friend in Iceland. He told me his community fasts for 22 hours. I said, man, I'm lucky I'm here in Canada. So it takes a lot of patience, especially if you drink a lot of coffee. So you don't drink coffee during the day, or some of you, they smoke. So they don't smoke during the day. So people so it takes a lot of patience to control yourself during the fast. I know a brother, he was fasting, and of course his wife was fasting in the month of Ramadan. I got only 2 minutes, so I'm going to be done in 2 minutes. Don't worry. So he was fasting, his wife was fasting, and he came from outside from work. He was tired, he was hungry. In Ramadan, he was fasting, everybody was fasting. So she started to talk about bills, and this is the worst time to talk about bills. Somebody is, steam is coming out of his head, he's whatever, so don't talk about bills. This is why people, have a lot of divorces, because they don't choose the timing. The timing is bad. So she said bills, he said get out of my face. She was offended. The whole day she was demanding an apology. He refused. Okay, late at night she went to bed, tears coming down her cheeks. So he felt sorry for the lady. So what he did, he left a note on the pillow. He left in the morning before she woke up. So she woke up in the morning, she found the note, it says sorry. When he came from work, she was not satisfied. She said, you have to say sorry. Writing is not enough. He said, no. Writing it on a piece of paper is just like saying it. What is the difference? She said, okay, there is a big difference. Maybe you don't know. Okay, we will see. 2 days later, he said, honey, I'm going to a conference in Vancouver. I have to catch the flight at 5 in the morning. if I miss the flight, I'm not going to go to the conference, they will fire me. She said, no problem. He said, I don't trust my alarm. Please wake me up at 5. He said, okay. So, just sleep. Don't worry about it. You got my word. Khalas. 5, you will wake up. So, sure enough, he didn't wake up at 5 in the morning. He woke up at 11. 11. So what happened? He looked for his wife in the kitchen, in the basement, nowhere to be found, and the kids were gone. So he looked around and he found the same note with the word sorry, and on the back of it there was, she wrote, wake up, it's 5. So there's a big difference between saying it and putting it in writing. The last thing is we fast. And fasting is a sign of showing gratitude for everything we have. We have so much to be thankful for. So we learn in our tradition that when you fast, it's a way of saying thank you to God. And when you pray, it's the same thing. The last thing I want to say, when Prophet Muhammad, 1450 years ago, when he migrated from Mecca to Medina in Saudi Arabia, 250 miles to the north, because there was a lot of persecution, when he arrived in Medina, that other city, there was a sizable Jewish community in Medina. So on the 10th of Muharram, which is the first month of the Islamic calendar, he found the Jews fasting on that day. He said, why are you fasting? They said, this is the day God saved Moses and the children of Israel from the Pharaoh and the Egyptians, my people. So he said, is this the reason why you fast on this day? They said, yes. So according to this authentic tradition, he fasted on that day, and he ordered Muslims to fast as well to honor the day that Moses fasted and the day that the children of Israel were saved from Egypt. So he did it as a way of thanks to God for saving Moses and the children of Israel. So thank you, and I hope you will enjoy the dinner with us. And before we move to the song, I'm going to introduce Brother Amin for just 20 seconds to say a quick joke about fasting.
Assalamu alaikum. So there are two people walking in the desert, alright? Their names are Bob and Dave. They're both Christians, alright? They're very thirsty. It's a very dry desert, so they're ready to bury their own graves. And then one guy, Dave, he sees a mosque in the distance. So he goes to Bob and says, hey Bob, look, there's a mosque there. Let's switch our names so maybe we can get food and drink. So Bob said, no, I'm not going to change my name, I'm going to keep my name. And Dave said, do whatever you want. My name is Muhammad Gamaliel. They go to the mosque, all right? The imam greets them and says, what are your names? Bob says, my name is Bob. Dave, my name is Muhammad Gamaliel, all right? And then the imam says, okay, go get Bob some food and drink. And Muhammad Gamaliel was like, why am I not getting food and drink? Can I go with my friend Bob? He says that. And the imam says, aren't you fasting? It's Ramadan. Thank you for your attention.